Hello, beautiful souls. How are you? It's been a long time since I've done a video. I apologize. It's been some quite busy days because I'm preparing for an artisan event. So I will be selling my cards and bookmarks, home handmade cards and bookmarks to this artisan event on the weekend of next weekend, 16 and 17 here in Montreal. So that's going to be fun. It's going to be a first time for me to actually get out of my little eggshell and have the courage to go and sell my stuff outside and see how that goes. It's going to be an interesting experience, growing experience for me, but also an opportunity to meet some people of my neighborhood and my area and my community. So that's going to be fun. So I just wanted to explain why a little bit I was away from the microphone and the camera for a few days. This is not the only reason why I've been away. And this is kind of the topic of today's video. I'm going to try to make this as short as possible and not to ramble too much. But as you know, since those who have been following this channel for a few months now, you know that I've started first to transmit messages from my higher self. Then after that, in last May, started some really unexpected transmissions from the Mella collective, from the Dakorat planet in the Ashara system, which is Taigeta in the Pleiades, Manahai. So for me, this was quite an unexpected because, to be quite honest with you, I've had the joy and pleasure to follow Elena Danan's work for the last 2 years. And I think she's doing a wonderful job at that. And I'm not trying to, in any way try to be an attention seeker or try to do exactly like her or anything like that. I think she's doing a great job herself, and she doesn't need necessarily other people trying to do the same thing. So when I did get these transmissions from the Mella Collective, I was a little bit surprised, but also kind of concerned because I didn't want to, because I know there's been a movement since Elena started of a lot of people trying to sprout out of nowhere and do it like her, and and they all say that they're all from these amazing people, and they're the reincarnation of this, and they're the reincarnation of that queen and princess or king, and they're all amazing, and they're all trying to be so amazing and everything. And when I've received these first transmissions from the Mella Collective, I was like, oh my God, first I received them. I started receiving them a year ago, but I didn't try to share any of it until May, because I was, reflecting on this. Is it a good thing? I was trying to be extremely discerning and cautious. And not only in terms of, eventually receiving bad info from bad entities or anything like that, but more about my own ego and questioning myself, why would I share this? Because I've been invited to share these messages. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. Trust me. I'd be talking about permaculture gardening, and I'm not trying to be this really cool attention seeking mimic person who's, stalks with the aliens. I do feel an extreme connection with certain beings from the stars, which are my soul family, and I do connect with them privately. And the fact that I've been invited to share these messages from upstairs is something that, like I just said, is a little bit challenging for me, because I don't want my ego, or mine and ego mostly, get trapped into this. And for me, people like Elena and Alex Collier are extremely great examples of people who are keeping grounded in what they share. They always are simple in the sense that it's in humility and kindness and benevolence. They don't try to be as attention seeking people or to feel that they're better than the other people. They always focus on the equality between us and them, and our brothers and sisters up there. So for me, it was extremely important to make sure that I was not sharing these transmissions out of some sort of ego trip or attention seeking trip or anything like that. And so I've been quite cautious, and finally I decided to share this transmission with you guys. But always being extremely, extremely careful. And it's been important for me, but also from the Mella Collective, to share with you my actual process of dealing with that. I don't know if you remember, but a few videos ago they were talking about the fact that I would be transmitting some Taami language, which I haven't done so yet, and that I would be transmitting through dance, which I sort of kind of did in one video with a meditation on the chakras. And I'm very, very careful because I feel like I don't want to be this person who's trying to be different and special and whatever. I'm special and unique and wonderful, like every being on earth. But I mean, my point is that my ego is not, I don't try to, get some extra attention out there. I think there's enough wonderful people doing that. I mean, doing the transmissions and what they're doing. So I've been in reflection the last few days because I've had people tell me, oh, you said you would be transmitting dance, but then, when is that coming? And then the Taami language. And well, first of all, I have to say about that the Mella Collective have kind of made me understand through telepathic and images and stuff and feelings that now was not the time to do so, because there's a lot of disinformation out there, and a lot of people who are doing a lot to criticize and ridicule a lot of transmitters and transmissions. And I don't think, and they don't think it's time to actually put myself on the spot like that. I'm a hypersensible person, and I'm not ready to be completely hit and hurt and bashed on and attacked by people, either ridicule or whatever. Not that I can't laugh about myself. I love, I have a lot of humor about myself, and I don't take myself seriously, but I don't need to be bashed. And I see how Elena, Alex, and people who are doing some really, really important transmission work are being bashed. And it's very tough for them. And, all my compassion goes to them. But I don't want to go through that process. This is not something I want. This is not something I'm capable of doing, because it would be too much for me. So I was advised for now to keep these type of really sort of new material or really important new stuff to just lay low right now and do my life's mission, most important thing. And that's what I want to focus on today, is that, before doing all these transmission things, what I've realized is that my real life mission or soul mission is not so much to be transmitting some really cool info from out there in stars. My life mission is to transmit, but mostly incarnate high vibration on Terra, and to be these high vibrations. This is my sole purpose. I do this through my art, which I create. My Shiogami paper collages are bringing beauty and harmony through the colors and the forms. That's one way for me to bring high vibrations. The transmissions I give from Mella are also a way of bringing transmitting high vibrations, because, as you have noticed, nothing the Mella Collective nothing that the Mella Collective that's been transmitted by them has been in any way fear mongering or bring anxiety or fear, anything like that. Everything is about always going within, finding your own answer, finding your own truth, being in sovereignty, being being equal to the being upstairs and people around you, and not being in ego and mind, and always try to keep focused on incarnating and anchoring high vibrations for yourself and for the collective, the Terran collective. So in that way, the transmissions by the Mella Collective do get not entangled, but I mean, they are part of that process of my soul mission, which is to bring and anchor and incarnate high vibrations. But I'm not here to be Elena Denan number 2. I don't have that pretension. I don't have all her psychic gifts. And it's not that I'm putting myself lower than her. She's my equal. She's like a sister to me. I love her very much, a friend. But she does what she does extremely well as other people out there, maybe Alex, Jade Lore, Danny, whoever, Tony Rodriguez. All these people are doing wonderful things with their life's mission. And my point is not to be trying to be an attention-seeking mimic or person who tries to also be a transmitter of really cool information. So I'm precising this because a lot of the truthers are there, are saying, be careful. A lot of people are just trying to get attention. And I just want to reassure everybody that this is really not what I'm aiming at here. You probably feel that from my vibrations. If you're slightly intuitive, you know that I'm not here to, to be a cool, galactic contact person. See, I just want to bring high vibes to you, to the Terran Collective, to myself, to the whole world in these periods of transmission. And I think that the Mella Collective transmissions have all been about that only, so this is what I want to continue doing. I take the time to talk about that because those are confusing time, and people may think, oh, well, they told us not to listen to the transmitters because they might be either, receiving false information from AI or from bad entities, or they're just, attention-seeking mimics. And there's a lot of that out there, and I completely agree. And I totally agree that discernment is absolutely crucial right now. Follow your intuition, follow your heart. If you don't, resonate with an information, don't go there. And if you don't resonate with my information or the transmissions I'm offering, please, no problem. Move on to something else. It's okay. It's okay. Okay. I'm not doing this for the attention seeking. I have only like 400 subscribers, and I've had this channel for 2 years, or a year and a half now. So as you can see, my point is not to be a millionaire and make money and be super famous, because I'm not that. I'm neither. I live in a one-room apartment. I try basically to survive with my creations, and I do these transmissions very humbly and just in a friendly way, trying to bring high vibrations to the world. So this is about my process here. One other thing I wanted to say is that, I've noticed in my process that I'm trying to transmit the Mella transition in a format that's more like, I will really put this word in quotes because it's not a word I like, but in a channeling form, in a sense that I will come here to you and say, hello, here is what the Mella have to say today. And then I sort of take a moment, center, and then they come and they speak. And then after that they go. And I found that this way of transmitting is, it's a very interesting way to do it. And I think it has its value. I was, however, very encouraged by them in an intuitive way, and through words, through feelings, and through images, to perhaps explore another way of doing these transmissions. Because what's happening is that being a little bit shy and being a little bit not having that much self-confidence, I feel that when I transmit in that way, I feel like I'm making too much of a dichotomy, like a separating like my messages from the Mella messages, even if they're transmitting through the filter of a very high vibration source, which is my higher self. I still feel like it's like me and them in a way, and that's part of the process of anyone who's discovering their intuitive abilities. Everybody here is an intuitive. Everybody can develop these abilities. We can all do this. But in my process, I've realized that this makes me kind of a little bit not uncomfortable, but I feel like, okay, I'm just going to tell you things, but that doesn't really matter so much as what they're going to tell you, because they're the special ones from up there. And I don't want this to I don't want it for these transmissions to go through that way. And I find very important from now on, and like I said, I've been encouraged by them to explore that way of transmitting. Instead, to be more natural with you guys, just come up here to the microphone and cam and be myself. That is, try to, as much as possible, to incarnate my higher self in what I say and what I do. Incarnate my my soul's mission, which is to transmit high vibrations, anchor them, and incarnate them. So this is what I'm continuing to do. But perhaps I will let go of the format in which I'm like, okay, now the Mella Collective will speak to you, and then I'm all like nervous, and I'm all like, am I going to say the right things? Hopefully, I'm a good, I'm unobstructed channel, and I realize it puts a lot of pressure on me, and they're very high vibration beings, and they're very humorous, and they're very loving and high vibrations. And I think they feel that by adopting this posture, I become a little bit, tense. And it doesn't really help the transmissions to go as good as they should. So I've been really encouraged to just be myself more. And I just want to say that from now on in my videos, which I'll be sharing with you, may they be called transmission or not transmissions, they will be transmissions, because the Mella Collective is always part of me, because they're my people, they're close to me. So whenever I will say from now on, my guidance tells me this, or my guidance shares that with you, or I receive from my guidance, well, you will know from now on that that means not only my humble, but inner wisdom, sovereign wisdom, the wisdom of my higher self, and also the wisdom of the Mela Collective and Source, so all of this is connected, So just know that when I say I share this from my guidance, it comes from a very high vibration, loving, compassionate, empathetic, and loving, and but I will kind of refrain from now on to have like either thumbnails that say transmission from the Mela Collective, from the Dakota, system in the Pleiades. So this way it's very official, and this is a channel transmission. I don't know. It puts so much pressure on me. I just feel like, ooh. So that's something I really needed to think about, go through the process in the last few days. This is why I didn't do any videos, because I was like sort of dancing on this, on this not uncomfortable, but weird thing where I'm in a way, I don't want to be, I want to be myself, and this is what we're always encouraged to be ourselves, to incarnate ourselves, and trust our intuition, our who we are within. So this is getting a long video, so I'm going to stop soon. I just wanted to share that with you. I'm not going to make videos from now on that will be officially with a thumbnail saying so that this is a Mela Collective transmission. But know this, what I'll be transmitting will always be in contact, in essence, with Mela, because it will always be, because I'm not here to transmit fear mongering or BS or anything like that. It will always be on high vibration, always things that are bathed in love, in compassion and empathy. And my guidance will speak through me, but not in a channeled way of, you know what I mean, like almost changing voice type of thing. I will channel this information, continue to channel it telepathically through images that I get in my head when I speak, and also images and words and feelings, mostly, because a lot of transmissions are about the feelings. So I will continue to be myself, just talk about different things, talk about my creativity, creation, high vibrations, what is happening in the world, what could be the best healthy way to live, or the best energetical hygiene we can cultivate every day, which is something Mela keeps talking about all the time. So it's not, the topics are not going to be very different. It's just the format that's going to be a little bit different, in the sense that it's going to be less officially a transmission, So I hope that's clear for you guys. And those who are not comfortable with that, you can always move on. If you're okay with that, then it's wonderful, and we can continue sharing this complicity and friendship here on this channel and community. As usual, I invite you to, if you wish to join me on Telegram or on Instagram, and the links are on the description below, because these humble channels can be a way for us to communicate, to exchange ideas. So, although I really appreciate for you to comment here under each of these videos, because it really helps the algorithm from YouTube to help me help this channel reach more people who would have similar interests. And my point, like I said, is not to be rich and famous, but for more people to access this benevolent and high vibration material. And that's the reason why, commenting, subscribing to the channel, clicking on the little bell to make sure that you receive the next video, a notification about the next videos is a way, and interacting on the videos is a way for the algorithm of YouTube to offer these to make these videos more available to more people around that could have similar interests. But also, I invite you to join the Instagram and the Telegram mostly channels that I have, because it's a really simple and nice place where we can chat, one on one, all together in a very simple way, and exchange about either the ideas that are proposed in these videos, or from the Mella's messages, or what you're going through in this ascension process, or what you're going through, the recent events that are taking place. A lot of things are starting to happen, and as you know, between the Georgia Stone event here in Canada, we lost our ATM machine, and Rogers not system, but network, on the 12th, on Tuesday at 10:30. Is Tuesday the 12th? Anyway, on the 12th of July, the James Webb Telescope is going to offer really important information, disclosure about what's out there in terms of star people and star cultures and life on other planets. That's very, very important stuff. So a lot is happening right now. So I think this can be an opportunity for us to exchange about these interesting things while keeping a high vibe. I don't encourage lower vibe anxiety or fear on my channels, but if that's something, good things you want to talk about, it will always be a pleasure. So I'm going to leave you at that. It's a long video. I wish you a beautiful day. Take great care of yourself, and I really look forward to seeing you again in the next videos, which will be about, I don't know what yet, but we'll see, and we'll see how the Mella Collective participate in a more discreet way in influencing what I'm sharing with you in a benevolent and loving way. Take great care of yourself. Much love. Bye. All my gratitude for helping this channel bring positive vibes to more people.